The first Taliban regime struggled for legitimacy. Only 4 countries recognized their rule. This time around, the list is longer. It has some new but frankly expected names. Number 1 is China. Human rights and religious extremism can take a backseat because for Beijing, it is all about the money. The indications were always there. Last month itself, a Taliban delegation had visited China. They were treated like rulers in waiting. And now Beijing has dropped all pretense. Listen to this.
We hope that the Afghan Taliban will unite with all parties and ethnic groups in Afghanistan to build a broad and inclusive political structure that suits Afghanistan's own natural conditions and laid a foundation for the realization of lasting peace in Afghanistan. The Afghan Taliban have repeatedly expressed their hope to develop good relations with China and look forward to China's participation in the reconstruction and development of Afghanistan.
So China has all but recognized the Taliban. What's in it for them? Resources, trade and security. Let me explain. Afghanistan is home to rare earth metals worth nearly $3 trillion. China wants to mine those metals. Secondly, it wants a trusted partner for the Belt and Road Initiative. Right now, China's Silk Route stops at the Afghan border. And with a friendly Taliban in Kabul, they can push on, possibly extend the BRI into Afghanistan. Reason number 3, a friendly Taliban is a non-meddling Taliban. You see, Afghanistan borders China's Xinjiang province, and this is where Beijing has put millions of Uyghur Muslims in labor camps. The Taliban can make life difficult at the border, push in their fighters, and support the Uyghur people. So China is extending a hand of friendship, basically a deal to ignore each other's abuses. And don't forget, Afghanistan is a war-torn country. Whoever ends up in power will have to rebuild it. That means infrastructure projects and energy deals. China sees this as an opportunity to make money and lay a debt trap. Next on the list is Russia. What an irony. The Taliban grew from mujahideens who mobilized to fight the Soviet Union. Today, things have changed. Russia says Kabul is a lot safer now than under the Afghan government. It is a stamp of approval from President Vladimir Putin. But what's in it for him? For starters, no Americans. Russia was always irked by the Western intervention in Afghanistan. The Taliban is their bulwark against the United States. The regional dynamics don't end there. Russia considers Central Asia as its backyard, its own sphere of influence. During the first Taliban regime, this region was extremely volatile. Central Asian nations clashed with the Taliban. Their borders were frequent flashpoints. Russia wants to avoid a repeat. They have military bases in the region, plus energy pipelines and infrastructure projects. How can these interests be secured? By courting the Taliban. Once again, it's less about ideology and more about money and security. And finally, we have Pakistan. They have recognized the first Taliban regime and they are itching to recognize the new one. This is what Pakistan Prime Minister Imran Khan had to say about the fall of Kabul. Quote unquote, Afghans have broken the shackles of slavery. Talk about a complete disconnect. Afghans are fleeing their homeland. What part of it reminds Imran Khan of emancipation? But then again, he is parroting the sentiment of the Pakistani deep state. This is a strategic victory for them, a return of their most effective proxies. Afghanistan can now host terrorists again. They can try and create trouble in Kashmir, and not to mention, this puts Pakistan back on the high table. Think back to the 1990s and the early 2000s. The West used Pakistan to meddle in Afghanistan. In the process, Islamabad got billions of dollars in aid and military help. They could use that sort of money right now. So we have 3 countries on the cusp of legitimizing the Taliban: Pakistan, China and Russia. All 3 have different reasons. A proxy war for Pakistan, a cash cow for China, and security for Russia. What is the cost of this quid pro quo? Human rights, religious tolerance, and economic prosperity. Taliban sponsors have sacrificed millions of Afghans to secure their selfish interests. You cannot call this diplomacy. This is a sinister deal between sinister partners. WION now available in your country. Download the app now. Get all the news on the move.